What's going on, everybody? I'm Andrew Thompson here at the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. I'm currently sitting next to this wonderful lady, one of the best talents in professional wrestling today, Miss Session Moth Martina. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Doing well. I'm doing well. So just to start off here, I do want to go back. You've done a lot in professional wrestling. I think you've been an ICW Women's Champion, OTT. For a day. Still champion, reign champion. In the record books, what it's going to say? Still champion. I know you were the first ever OTT champion, OTT Women's Champion. Twice. There it is. So I want you to just tell. There it is. We gonna get to that. But so I just wanted to ask you, do you have any fond memories from either of those title reigns, and do they hold a special place in your heart?
Oh, 100%. Like OTT is my home promotion. It's what made me what I am. It got me everywhere in the world. That, like, winning that first women's belt, because I was the first woman in OTT, and for such a long time the only woman in OTT, it was like such a great. Like, it'll always be there for me, even if though I've like moved on and I'm not really in the women's division there anymore because of just going on to other things, and there's loads of girls coming up and doing it. It's great for them. It's just nice that I have that like little bit of cemented history because I have been there since the start. But OTT is my like home, like my heart is there completely. And obviously ICW had a great little reign there as well, so hopefully I get back there someday.
So I know you've also done some work in Stardom. Tell me about your trip to Japan, the experience, the culture. Is it like a bit of a culture shock going to Japan?
Yeah, the first time you're there, I think it's such a shock in every regard. Like, you're like, not only like the environment, and then there's kind of like the girls, you can't speak to them, and it's like scary. But I remember the first time I went, I was very kind of like a little bit out of my element. Second time it got like a little bit more easier, and then the third time, which I just came back from there, I did 3 months in Japan, just gone, and I felt like home. It was amazing. Like all the girls had like in Stardom had become my friends, and you navigate better, your Japanese gets better, the people you're with become your family, like, and I had so much fun. I went out and I just had like drank every day. I had a party. It was one of the best times of my life. It was amazing. Okay, so and with you doing work in Stardom, I know recently that Bushiroad acquired Stardom, and when Stardom had a feature match, well, not a feature, it was a dark match, but still was a match at Wrestle Kingdom. Tell me about your thoughts about the possibility. I'm not going to get into speculation, but the possibility of integration maybe between the two, and it already started with, I think that's beginning steps. Having a dark match at one of their biggest show of the year. Tell me what your thoughts about that. 100%. I think it was such a great, at the end of the day, the way I see it is like, even though it was dark, it was still like 40,000 people from Japan seeing Stardom. So now more eyes are on Stardom, and that's the whole goal in the end of the day, because these girls are insanely talented, they're the best in the world. So at the end of the day, like, that's what I think, like baby steps, one day we might get on the pay-per-view, one day there might be a Stardom match, but at the end of the day, Stardom, it does have its own company, so it doesn't need New Japan either. Like, you know what I mean? I think they're both like independent of each other. It's great that they're working together, but like if New Japan can help Stardom, Stardom can help New Japan. They should just work together with that. I was there to see it, and it was surreal. It was just amazing seeing like a promotion I work for on such a big stage, like on Wrestle Kingdom. It was amazing, and obviously like the idea, like there's like speculation that there might be like crossovers, and obviously the dream match is me and Yano. I think we're all hoping. Me and Yano, that is my dream match. I need to either tag with Yano or face Yano, one or the other, or else me against Suzuki. Like, one of them has to happen. So we'll just keep nagging New Japan until they like provide.
I'm hoping for that Suzuki match. I need that.
Suzuki, we're also a great tag team because he fancies me. So
I know back in the summer of 2019, I believe you had a trial with NXT UK, right? So tell me about that experience. What was that like for you, and what were some of the decisions that led to you deciding to head to Ring of Honor instead of signing with NXT UK?
Yeah, the NXT UK tryout was really fun. It was the first ever all-female tryout. So yeah, that was great, and I really enjoyed the experience. I feel like it went really well. Yeah, it was quite great, like getting to train at the UKPC, and then I got asked to stay on and do an extra week of training just to see with like the current signees and stuff. And a lot of my friends work there, so I felt very comfortable there straight away. I just felt like at that time, I guess, it just wasn't the right direction for me. I mean, it would have been a great opportunity to start a new career and start something new. But I just felt like for me right now, I just didn't really want to give up the amount of travel that I get to do at the moment, and like I have a lot of freedom as it is right now. Like I've been to Australia this year, like America, Japan. I'm just not really ready to not. Yeah, and I've put a lot into my character over the last 5 years, and I just felt like Ring of Honor was a better fit for my character and what I wanted to do with my character. And yeah, I just felt like it was going to be a bit safer there. It just felt like a better fit.
Now, someone who has been, I think you've been a staple on the independent scene in the UK, and I also think here in America as well. Just tell me, what do you think about the NXT UK brand and how they have essentially signed some of the top talents in the UK and all over? Well, you're basically in the UK and Australia, Austria, various. What do you think about that? Because I've seen some negative and positive reactions to it. Just your general thoughts about the brand and how it has affected the independent scene.
Well, obviously, at the end of the day, I think it's great that, people making money and people work very. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people start this wrestling with the hopeful goal of making it a job, which they have delivered to these people. So I think when they start, they want to be secure. So at the end of the day, it's a dream job for a lot of these people. So I think people should be happy for them. And I do think it's maybe there's not enough room. You know what I mean? There's only so much airtime that they do, so it is a bit overcrowded and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. If this is what these people want, if this is what these people work towards, I'm really happy for them. As long as they're happy with their exposure and everything like that, that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, time goes on and there's always new people coming up to fill these gaps, and then there'll be, if they go on to get signed, there'll be more people coming out to fill them gaps, and it just will keep going as it is. And I think it's a wheel and it won't stop turning. So I think it's great for everybody.
Just to jump back into a more positive note right here. I remember I think it was OTT's WrestleMania show in 2017. It was your entrance when everybody had the glow. Oh my goodness, man! That was legit one of the craziest entrances I've ever seen. Just tell me, just as a wrestler, when you step from behind the curtain, right, and you see that, how did you not get
Oh, I did. It's goosebumps. And I have live videos of it, and they're saved. And anytime I watch them back, I get goosebumps all over again. It's amazing. I feel like tonight's going to be another goosebump experience. So yeah, it's genuinely, these are the moments you live for. I always say this, these are going to be when I'm if I live this long, if I'm 80. And I look back at my life, I'll look back on that video with everyone with the glow sticks, be there's 2,000 people there shaking glow sticks for me. How is this my life? And it's the most grateful feeling in the world.
I say, and earlier I know we talked about intergender wrestling. You, the OTT gender neutral champion. Tell me about your thoughts about, because as we said before, even with the NXT UK thing, the varying opinions about intergender wrestling. Some people like it, some people don't like it, and there are valid points to both. I think we both can agree. Just tell me about your thoughts about independent wrestling, and just a message to those who may not be as familiar or may not be as comfortable with watching intergender wrestling.
I'm a huge advocate for intergender wrestling. It's kind of the majority of wrestling that I do. At home in OTT, I do a lot of it, and I feel like it's a contact sport. We're all equal. Wrestling's wrestling. I would go into a match expecting to be hit as hard as a man would be hit, and etc. I don't feel like wrestling needs a gender. I don't see why we can't work together and put on a match, and there's so much story there. I'm 100% behind it. I'll fight it to the ground. I'll fight it to death. I hopefully one day, my dream for Ring of Honor to do more of it as well. That would be my dream for everything. I love intergender wrestling.
I think you've told this story before on various accounts. When Becky Lynch reached out to you, tell me about what that meant to you to have someone else from Ireland who's at a top position, who's doing the same thing that you're doing in professional wrestling, rising up in the ranks, and also a woman in professional wrestling. Just tell me about what that meant to you to have her reach out to you and show you love.
Oh, it was amazing. I remember, I remember years ago, a few years ago, she kind of reached out and she was oh, it's great what you're doing. Is there any way I can help you? It's maybe get looked at by WWE. And I was the fact that she doesn't need to go out of her way to do that for me, and she just really liked everything that I was doing, which was so sweet. And even having her now say oh, I think she's doing great, and she is genuinely the biggest thing in wrestling right now, which is amazing. That this girl from Ballyfermot, like, or like from Dublin, like city centre, is like the top star in Ireland, like or in the world. It's amazing. Yeah, so she's so sweet, and like, oh, I like anytime I see her, I just get goosebumps. I'm so proud of everything she's doing. It's amazing.
So did you have the opportunity to see the documentary that Think House did about you?
Yeah.
Have you had opportunity? Okay, so no, because that was really cool, because it was like, you know, so,
Short and sweet.
yeah, no, it was, but I mean, because, you know, as some wrestlers, you don't really get to know the person.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I think that was like a really cool thing that they did, and that you did too, because it was like, okay, you see Session Moth Martina in the ring, but let me show you who this person is outside of the ring.
Yeah, I liked how they did the like travel aspect, like, and how like lonely it can be on the road, like you're sitting in hotel rooms on your own and stuff like that. And yeah, I thought it was very and like the fears, the good parts, the bad parts, you know what I mean? I thought it was a very good description of it. Like, people they don't think about that side of things when it comes to it. I enjoy it though most of the time, so it's fine.
Yeah, and lastly, here to wrap it up, I know you were very busy last year during WrestleMania weekend. I know you were on a lot of shows. Just tell me how busy it is as a professional wrestler during WrestleMania week, and because I know it's just insane. And then also at the same time, you get to see people that you know you're friends with all around the city, and you're all just jam packed in this one area.
That's my favorite part about WrestleMania week. Like, literally everybody I've met over the last years is all in one place. So like, if you're on one show with one person, you'll see one person of this. The only thing is, obviously, you don't get much time to kind of chill, because like I remember I was like running to this show, and I was on my own like as well. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll see you guys at this show. I remember I was at a party for like half an hour, and I was like, no, gotta go to spring break, and like, it was great though. It was such a good experience, and it really helped get my name out there, which was the best part about it. And I'll miss it like this year, but I'm excited just to kind of go and like chill, you know, and like enjoy the vibe. I'll go see my friends at shows now. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go get drunk at your show. So a lot more alcohol this time, so it'll be better.